If you sell digital products on Lemon Squeezy, you need to hear what their own team said this past January, because it changes everything about where your business lives. And today in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what happened to Lemon Squeezy, and I'm comparing the real alternatives with their fees so you know what tool is best for you. Because if you're looking for an alternative, there's some really important information that you need to make sure you know that we're gonna cover in today's video. Now, before we get into any of this, you need to know exactly where I stand. I built websites for over a decade, and I've sold a lot of digital products. I got really frustrated with these platforms. And so, myself and my co-founder started a company called Blink. I'm gonna try to do the fairest assessment, even though you know I'm biased, with what I would say are the best alternatives out there. I'll lay it out in a way so you can judge the facts for yourself. Now, before we look at alternatives, Lemon Squeezy was a very promising tool. But what actually happened? Let's start with the timeline. They launched in 2021. And by July of 2024, Stripe had acquired them. At the time, it seemed like one of the best tools on the market. For example, if you were in the Framer ecosystem and you were trying to sell Framer templates, they recommended that you use a Lemon Squeezy link for your transaction. Then when they got bought by Stripe, it was the same team and the same product, and technically nothing changed. But in reality, everything changed. Over the next year and a half, users started noticing. Support responses stretched from days into weeks. Product updates slowed down and basically went to a halt. And in January 2026, Lemon Squeezy's own co-founder published an update that confirmed what everyone suspected. The team that had been putting all their energy into Lemon Squeezy moved their focus onto something else entirely. It was a tool inside of Stripe, Stripe Managed Payments, which for your sake, if you're watching this, is not a creator platform. It doesn't have the key things you need as a creator, like affiliate tools, your storefront, and the download delivery details that made Lemon Squeezy useful for people like us. The question then came to the search that you did today. What alternatives are out there? We're gonna start with the first alternative, but let's just be clear about what Lemon Squeezy provided, because the replacement needs to cover all three of these and not just take payments. First, it needs to be a merchant of record, also known as an MOR. The platform technically is the legal seller, which means it handles global sales tax, VATs, refunds, chargebacks, and compliance for you. If your replacement doesn't do this, congratulations, you just became your own tax department in 30, 40, maybe even 50 different countries. Second, the selling layer. It's not just about processing payment, it's about the checkout experience, product delivery, discounts, and a storefront. And third, as a creator, if you're just getting started, the thing you may overlook but is essential is growth tools. Things like affiliates, emails, cart recovery, the stuff that grows revenue. And this is the stuff that got abandoned in this transition. So keep those three in mind, because we are about to score every option against it. Now, I'm gonna start with Blink, because it sets the bar for what all three pillars look like in one product. Personally, I sell digital downloads and Framer templates, and I have lived every problem in this video. When I tried to create my Lemon Squeezy account, I couldn't even get approved when I am a legit US-based business, and when I reached out to support, I never got a response. With Blink, you could launch a modern, high-performance storefront and start selling in minutes. You're gonna get a beautiful checkout that you can customize, analytics, order bumps, cart recovery, email broadcasts, splits, affiliates, geo pricing, flexible payouts, and the ability to embed your checkout on your own website. First, let's start with pillar number one. Blink is a full merchant of record. You could process payments across 150 plus countries and 85 plus currencies. Global tax is calculated and collected, and remitted, refunds, disputes, and chargebacks are handled. It's the same legal protection as Lemon Squeezy, but there's a lot more. Pillar number two, the selling layer. You get a modern, beautiful, customizable storefront. You could adjust adjust the colors, the layout, light and dark mode on specific products, and checkouts designed for conversion. Like I mentioned before, if you have your own website, you could embed your products or use overlay checkouts so customers could buy without ever leaving your site. And then pillar 3, and this one gets me the most excited. Let's talk about the growth tools. First, order bumps are gonna help you raise your average order value at checkout. Next, cart recovery is gonna bring back the people who almost bought. And next, this is so important for creators, don't overlook this, your email broadcasts, your ability to communicate with your audience, build your relationship, all of that's built in. You don't need a separate tool. And I would call this the icing on the cake. You get a full affiliate program with automatic payouts, not to mention geo pricing, so you could price by country and stop losing international sales. I mentioned revenue splits as well, so you could build a product with a partner and the money will get divided automatically at custom percentages. Let's talk about the pricing. This starts at 5% plus 50 cents per transaction. So that means there's no monthly fee, no setup cost, and no hidden charges. And payouts work the way they should. You withdraw from your dashboard whenever you want once you've hit above $50. And it'll go straight to your bank. Compare that to Lemon Squeezy, where payouts ran on a fixed schedule with a $100 minimum, and clearing delays that meant new sellers often got paid once a month. And just take a look at Lemon Squeezy's reviews online. This is honestly really sad. The amount of complaints and 1-star reviews is insane. Alright, let's talk about our next alternative, Gumroad. Now, Gumroad is a name that a lot of people know, and it covers Pillar 1 as of January 2025. But this is where you need to pay a lot of attention. First of all, the design is very unique, and you just either have to live with it or love it or hate it. But what matters underneath that is that the fees are genuinely hard to justify. Gumroad, get this, charges you 10% plus 50 cents on every direct sale. And payment processing is not included in that. Card processing gets added on top. So let's just take a look at an example of a $10 product. You're gonna lose over $2 per sale. Run the math at $5,000 a month and you're paying around $645 in fees every month. And this baffles me, but if a customer refunds, Gumroad is gonna keep their fee. And on top of that, the storefront design, as I just mentioned, looks really basic. The checkout is really complicated, and the neo-brutalist design is just too extreme for a lot of businesses. And again, I'm pretty baffled at this, but Gumroad's reviews on Trustpilot are terrible. With over 400 reviews, it has like a 1.4 star rating. And I wouldn't let the marketplace fool you. It is a cool idea to be able to sell your products on a platform that also can promote your products, but it's not as powerful as you might have hoped. Now, let's talk about Paddle. Paddle is a real merchant of record with the same 5% plus 50 cent pricing. But Paddle is built for SaaS businesses. They're really focused in on subscription billing, dunning, where you make sure you have cards that haven't expired, churn tools, and enterprise invoicing. And on that side, they do a great job. And so yes, you could sell a digital product, but you are not technically their ideal customer. Why? Because you're not gonna have a storefront or an affiliate program. They're truly focused on the billing infrastructure. So if you're running a software company, amazing, Paddle deserves a look. But if you're a creator selling templates, courses, digital downloads, you're gonna be using a platform that isn't built for your needs. And finally, let's talk about Polar. And this is probably the one that comes closest. They have built a clean product with a good developer experience. But when you take a look at this against the 3 pillars that we talked about, the gaps show up fast. Polar is an MOR, and it is built for developers selling software. So the whole experience assumes you're integrating an API, not launching a store. It has no built-in email marketing, so you're paying for a separate email tool. Now, they do provide a way for you to have a storefront. And yes, you could create an affiliate program, but you will need a third-party tool. Blink will handle your transaction emails, but there are no broadcast emails. And there is no cart recovery either. Not to mention, there are a lot of other growth tools that Blink provides that Polar doesn't touch. And one other note, there's no PayPal on the buyer side, which can quietly cost you sales because a chunk of customers only pay with PayPal. And it's worth noting, Polar's pricing recently changed. New accounts now start at 5% plus 50 cents per transaction, which is now equal with everyone else. Now, what I want to highlight overall, Polar does offer some great features for you to sell, but it's really built for developers. If you're a creator, you're going to spend months bolting on the pieces it's missing. And that's truly why we built Blink. Now, in some ways, this might feel like an ad, and I could totally understand that. But as someone who reviews software for a living, if I wasn't a co-founder of Blink, I still think it's the best option. Lemon Squeezy really has no solid future, and so finding the best alternative is gonna really help you transition or start on the right platform. And as a creator, you don't want to have to bolt together 100 things to get your product sold. And you don't want to be paying double with Gumroad just because. Blink is the one platform that does everything Lemon Squeezy does, but a lot more. And it's built specifically for creators. I actually believe it's way more beautiful than Lemon Squeezy ever was. If you want to get started with Blink today, use that first link down below in the description. And if you have any questions about Blink or want to learn more or want additional video content about the tool, just drop them in the comments below. Now, if you are currently on Lemon Squeezy and you have questions about moving over, I read all my comments, so I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. If you got value from the video, subscribe. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.